So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called An Eye for an Eye, 1981. It's going to be another Karate Man recommendation. Giving it 5 out of 5 stars. I love this flick. Kane's justice is revenge. Kane's weapon is himself. I think it's a Dirty Harry ripoff because I kept seeing Dirty Harry on the top right side while I was watching this on YouTube. It's free on YouTube with ads, but if you got ad blocker, you don't have to watch the ads. My son showed me that trick. He's pretty smart. An Eye for an Eye is a 1981 U.S. crime action film. Surprise, surprise. Another Karate Man. Recommendation directed by Steve Carver. Steve Carver. Excuse me. Stars Chuck Norris, Christopher Lee, Richard Roundtree, Matt Clark, Mako, and Maggie Cooper. We're familiar with Mako on this channel. It's also got the great Professor Toru Tanaka from California Championship Wrestling. I posted the link to Toru Tanaka versus Rocky Lee in the ring 1986. When he was like Andre the Giant, he couldn't move around anymore. So I think the match with Rocky Lee lasted about 5 seconds. Anyways, I also posted a link to the trailer in the description. All right. Undercover San Francisco narcotics cops Sean Kane, Norris, and Dave Pierce, Terry Geiser head into a dark alley to meet up with an informant named Tony Montoya, Mel Novak, who was also in Black Belt Jones, Game of Death. I forgot to put his name in the description. Well, I can always fix that now. Mel Novak. Oops. I clicked on the wrong button. I want to click on edit. All right. We'll put Mel Novak's name in there. Mel. I can actually edit a lot of things in this while I'm recording. I just realized that. All right. We're going to fix this. And what else? Recording date. Today. I like how the streets of San Francisco don't have any trees on them. And I kept trying to guess what streets they were on. What buildings they were in, that sort of thing, what pier they were on. It was kind of fun. It was kind of like a tourist, a tour. It was kind of like a tour of San Francisco in 1981. Let me put it to you that way. Okay, Tony Montoya, Mel Novak, promises to break their big investigation wide open by providing the name of the Oriental drug ringleader. Minutes later, Pierce is dead, and after having been shot, hit by a car, burned, Kane gets into trouble with his boss, Captain Stevens, Richard Roundtree, for sending one of the killers flying out of a third-story window to his death in view of the public. Rather than face discipline and told to keep his distance by his superiors, Kane decides to quit the force, and he sets out to exact vengeance. Of course. He's just like It's just like that scene in I can't think of the name of the movie. Maybe it'll come back to me. Dave's girlfriend, reporter Linda Chan, Rosalind Chow, is also angry. I like Rosalind Chow. Fortunately, she doesn't reveal herself in this one. And she vows to bring the drug gang down herself by way of investigating, reporting, and public exposure. Bad idea. She works for Christopher Lee. However, when Linda uncovers a secret that Kane and Pierce never found, she too is killed by her boss, Christopher Lee. Kane sets out for revenge, as does Linda's grieving father, James Chan, played by Mako, and Linda's close friend, news editor Heather Sullivan, played by Maggie Cooper. Now, she has a shower scene with Chuck Norris. That alone is the reason to watch, but Chuck Norris has a scene where he's fighting someone with his hands tied behind his back. Then Mako starts going after Professor Toru Tanaka. And he can't do anything. He just gets picked up and thrown on the ground. Mako's always criticizing Chuck Norris, but Chuck Norris was the one who beats the crap out of Professor Toru Tanaka. Another reason to watch Chuck Norris versus Toru Tanaka, Mako versus Toru Tanaka. That was the grand finale right there. The Billy Blanks versus versus German fighting dude. Anyways, Kane asked his friend and fellow detective Tom McCoy, Matt Clark, there's a little police corruption going on here too, to keep him informed about the case, but Stevens takes charge of the case. And all larger aspects of the case go through him. Kane and Chan are attacked by a hitman connected to drug cartel, the Chinese triad. With Heather's help, Kane sees Montoya near a ship in one of Linda's televised news reports. Linda's boss and mentor, editor-in-chief Morgan Canfield, Christopher Lee, the corrupt head of the whole drug operation, offers Kane support to find the killers. It's a good thing Chuck Norris didn't take him up on his offer. Anyway, Kane finds Chan confronting Nikki LaBelle, Stuart Rankin, Montoya's boss. LaBelle reluctantly reveals Montoya's location. After Kane and Chan confront Montoya, he reveals that he was bait because the drug dealers were on to them. Before he can reveal names, the same hitman who killed Linda opened fire and they kill Montoya. I thought he was dangling from the car window or something. I didn't know that they killed him. Anyways, we don't see him for the rest of the movie, so I guess he's dead. Kane suspects a mole is helping the dealers remove any loose ends. When Heather's apartment is trashed, Kane suspects the people who killed Linda are looking for a tape that Linda discovered. Heather tells Kane the ship where Linda was doing her interview was a freighter called the Sulu Sea. Kane checks the cargo hold of the Sulu Sea, and he finds that the drugs are imported inside fireworks transported from Hong Kong. After being spotted, Kane sets the fireworks on fire, and he escapes as Stevens and his fellow officers watch in the distance. Heather finds Linda's tape in a locker at the train station, thanks to Chuck Norris's dog with a key hidden in her shoe. She leaves a message for Kane to meet her at the news station. He meets McCoy there, and they go to Canfield's office. The tape contains the phone conversation between Canfield and the dealers, which reveals Canfield as the ringleader. And McCoy reveals himself to be a traitor. Cool plot twist there. As Canfield and his hitman take Heather with them, Kane is about to be killed when Chan arrives and takes down the assailants. Kane confronts McCoy over his involvement with Canfield, who tells him was in it for the money and that he was not the one who drove the car that killed Dave. McCoy chases Kane on the roof and is killed during a fight with Kane. He is run over by a train. Kane and Chan go to Canfield's estate, where he is meeting with the other drug dealers. When the truck carrying the drugs is spotted by Stevens and the SFPD, Kane and Chan fight Canfield's men as Stevens and the cops fire at them. Chan confronts the assassin who killed Linda, known as the Professor, Professor Toru Tanaka, or simply Professor Tanaka, but is incapacitated by the professor's brute strength. Mako is no match for the professor. Kane then fights the professor, and after a brutal fight, finally takes down the professor by kicking him through the glass coffee table. That's in the trailer. This one has a budget of $4 million, a box office of $12 million. So it made $8 million. Not bad. Chuck Norris was starting to come to be a real star. Yeah. Then he signed on with Canon. Anyways, on Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 33 out of 100 based on 5 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Janet Maslin of the New York Times wrote, as martial arts movies go, it's pretty tame. Really? I thought the fight scenes were decent. Variety called the film an effective martial arts actioner for the current champ of the genre, Chuck Norris. Helmer Steve Carver mixes a realistic approach with comic strip elements effectively, and though results are routine, pick should please fans of Chop Saki. Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune gave the film 1.5 stars out of 4, wrote that its biggest problem was that it was short on martial arts scenes. That's because I suspect Norris wants to break out of his kick-in-the-face image and become an all-purpose movie star. No way. This guy needs a charisma transplant. Kevin Thomas of the Los Angeles Times called the film a solidly crafted, no-nonsense exploitation picture that delivers the goods to Norris fans, which has been directed with considerable zest and style by Steve Carver, who's highly experienced in the making of exploitation material. Who is this guy, Steve Carver? Sidekicks 11 years earlier. What is that, like 1980? That's like 1970. Oh, 11 years later. I should get my reading glasses. Okay. So you're talking 1992 Sidekicks? I think I've already watched and reviewed that one. Oh, Steve Carver worked as assistant director on Dalton Trumbo's Johnny Got His Gun. Corman, he worked with Roger Corman to do Big Bad Mama. I think I've only reviewed the second Big Bad Mama. He did the Billy Jacks series. He replaced Burt Kennedy as the director on drum. Yeah, I think I'll put his name in the description. Oh, he was the director and producer of Lone Wolf McCade. How did I miss that? All right. Karate Man's in the chat room, finally. He says, this is one of Chuck Norris's more underrated films that not too many people mention about. Great cast, too. Yeah, I love this flick. Good recommendation, Karate Man. Both Chuck Norris and Mako were in Sidekicks 11 years later. I thought I did Sidekicks. I'm going to put Steve Carver's name in this. As the director. Karate Man didn't even catch that. Directed by Steve Carver. When I saw Exploitation Director, I was thinking, okay, what other movies has he done? Steve Carver. I think I've done Sidekicks. It rings a bell. Let's go on the old channel dashboard. Then I'll type in the word Sidekicks. Zero videos. I haven't even done Sidekicks yet. River of Death with Duty Cough. Oh, yeah. I have done River of Death. I completely forgot about that. Come on. River of Death. All right. Come on. Oh. Steve Carver's name is in my River of Death review. Karate Man did know about Steve Carver. What about Lone Wolf McCade? Bam! His name is in there too. All right. So Karate Man did know about Steve Carver. He just didn't say anything until I figured it out from reading Wikipedia, figuring out that he was an exploitation director. Carver made two highly successful films with Chuck Norris, An Eye for an Eye and Lone Wolf McCade. An Eye for an Eye made $8 million on a $4 million budget. The development of Walker Texas Ranger led to a lawsuit filed by Carver and his production crew, Yoran Ben Ami, which they lost. No wonder Carver was involved with canon. Yoran Ben Ami sounds like a Hebrew name. Carver in 2020, we failed to convince the Supreme Court that there were similarities. Now you and I and everybody else knows that there are similarities between Lone Wolf McCade and Walker Texas Ranger. So Walker Texas Ranger ripped off Lone Wolf McCade. Carver filed suit and he lost. Anyways, Carver died from COVID-19 in Los Angeles on January 8th, 2021 at the age of 75 during the COVID-19 pandemic in California, though it was initially reported that he died from a heart attack. Sounds fishy to me. Anyways, Karate Man's in the chat room. I've already gone down my Netflix. I've already gone down my list. Karate Man's late to the game. But I did get comments from Professor Quiz and Jeff Jaffe and Adrian. Each one of these guys commented on one of my videos. But Karate Man's on a lot more of my videos. Karate Man's like hardcore fan of this channel. He wants 1 billion views on this channel. Cool. Tell all your karate friends to watch my videos. All 1 billion of them. All right. I got my my vacuum cleaner here. I did some vacuuming earlier today. And took my son to the Latin Mass. There was only one priest doing both confession and the Latin Mass. And then he said he'd go to UCSF to give communion, final communion to this person who's dying over there. This guy's like running around with it, like a chicken with his head cut off. Father Joseph Elo. And he's complaining that there aren't enough priests around. And he's going to pray like John for more priests to come to his church to help him out. There's only the deacon there passing out communion. That's the only person helping him today. Anyways, the 25th Avenue was blocked. When I drove my son to church, I thought we were going to be late, but we actually got there 10 minutes early. And there was tons of parking because nobody wanted to go because they're having the Bay to Breakers thing on Golden Gate Park. It's completely shut off. So I had to take the scenic route down Lincoln. I had to take Lincoln to 20th, and I made a right on 20th. Then I made left on Irving, and then left on 19th. That took about 20 minutes, but it worked out. We made it. My son didn't get confession because we got there 10 minutes early, and and then 5 minutes later, they stopped doing confessions. He started doing mass. He's running around like a crazy man, this priest. My favorite Chuck Norris movie. I think it has to be Missing in Action 3, right? Braddock! That movie made me laugh. I love that flick. Chuck Norris. um, let's see. I loved Lone Wolf McQuaid, of course, by the same director. The Hitman I didn't like. I love Delta Force 2. Invasion USA was pretty decent, but not a great flick. Hero and the Terror I disliked. Um, yeah, I'll go with Braddock Missing in Action 3. I'm going to say is my favorite. My least favorite is probably a tie between the Hitman and Hero and the Terror. uh, I wasn't digging Chuck Norris's mullet in the Hitman. And it didn't get good reviews on Netflix either. An average rating of 3 out of 5 stars on Netflix. I actually rated it lower. Yeah, I'll go with the Hitman as my least favorite. Hero on the Terror gets a little bit higher rating on Netflix, 3.3 out of 5. So, Invasion USA. Invasion USA was good, but it wasn't great. It's got Richard Lynch as a Soviet agent, Rostov, doing his fake Russian accent. Richard Lynch. He wants to invade America and turn the country into a war zone. And Chuck Norris is the one-man army. Yeah. Karate Man likes any kind of action movie. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's always good for Karate Man because that's his favorite genre. All right. I guess I'll look for sidekicks because I don't remember that one. It's not on. It's not on Netflix. Let's try YouTube. Sidekicks 1992. Oh, it's free with ads. I thought I did this one already. Let's see. Hmm. I haven't seen Sidekicks, but it's on YouTube. I'm going to add it to my list. Why not? The Delta Force. (1986). Nope, that one's not on YouTube. Just a bunch of clips in the trailer, and the movie theme, and the beginning. Yeah, nothing doing with the Delta Force. Anyways, nice chatting with you, Karate Man. I don't step on toes, Little John. I step on neck. That's what Karate Man says in the chat room for Braddock Missing in Action 3. That has to be the greatest one. I love how that fake Vietnamese guy is in the helicopter and he says, Braddock! Oh, man. He's got that kid with him. What a great ending that was. Oh, man. Well, I added Sidekicks to my list. I don't know if I've seen it already, but I don't see a review up on my channel. Maybe it got taken down. I'll just watch it again and review it again. All right. Well, nice chatting with you, Mr. Karate Man. I'm going to watch The Real Anthony Fauci now. Highly recommended this one. Check it out. Karate Man recommendation. Laters. How do I get out of here? End stream. It's not letting me do it. How do I end this? If I reload it.